The Dark Star.
The Dark Star 14. Chunks of stone bounced off the floor, showering them with shards of sharp rock as another drone exploded against the barricade they were cowering behind. Behind the buzzing of the drones, they could hear the heavy footsteps of the hunter-killer droid slowly making its way towards them while the drones kept them pinned down. Michael frantically scrolled through the hacking device. There's too many drones to even begin hacking them, and they each have their own channel. It's like trying to mop up the ocean, he said, glancing frantically at Nancy, who had a bead of blood trickling down her cheek from one of the drone's explosions against the wall they were hiding behind. What about the big guy? That's the one I'm really worried about, she asked, her eyes staring at the device in Michael's hands in quiet desperation. I tried twice and failed. I can't focus with these things exploding against the wall every 2 seconds, and this hacking puzzle is impossible. If I fail again, he stared down at the screen, his voice trailing off. Boom, we all die. Everyone. Everywhere. Fuck, how hard is this puzzle? She asked, leaning in as another drone exploded, sending shards bouncing off the walls and a boom echoing across the room. Here, take a look, he said, and handed the device to Nancy. Once you start it, though, you only have 5 minutes, and she stared down at the screen. There was a cylinder made up of hexagons of different colors. She had watched when he had attempted the first 2 times, and she noticed that as some of them matched up, a shining black hexagon appeared. She had a feeling that was the key. But they only had 1 shot left. I think I know what to do, but, as she spoke, 2 more drones exploded nearby, rattling their bones from the concussive wave and showering them with more sharp chunks of stone. At this point, it really doesn't matter much. Do it. Go for it. Michael said as he cupped his ringing ears and ducked a flying piece of rock. Drones temporarily disabled. Good luck, Nancy. This is all I can do for now, a familiar voice said from the loudspeaker high above, and all the drones stopped buzzing at once and dropped to the ground. But the footsteps of the hunter-killer kept getting closer. Thanks, Bella. Michael called out and looked over at Nancy, giving her a wink and a smile. Go for it. You got this. She bit her lower lip as she tapped the icon to begin the puzzle, and the screen went blank for a moment before it was filled with a wall of hexagons, some purple, some blood red, some silver, and some gold. She tapped the screen, rotating them along the axis once each time until she matched 4 red corners together, making a larger shape that disappeared, and more hexagons dropped down from above. She did this again and again, her fingers furiously tapping the screen as the countdown timer continued its slow tick down to 0. Suddenly, a shining onyx-colored hexagon dropped down. She glanced at the timer. Only 1 minute and 45 seconds left. She tapped the screen, first bunching up a gold hexagon, then a silver, and watched as the onyx hexagon slowly make its way down the screen until it got to the center. Okay, I think this is it, she said, and tapped on the center hexagon. It changed from onyx to diamond, changing all the others to diamond, and the hexagons disintegrated, revealing a small key file. She tapped on the file, and within was an icon labeled Master Drone Control. Holy shit! Michael said excitedly as she tapped the icon, and the hunter-killer's footsteps in the distance paused. Nancy stood up and peeked around the corner where the hunter-killer stood at attention, its red eyes now a soft green. Well done, Nancy. Belladonna's voice called out from above. Give me just a moment. Now that you've broken the encryption, I can activate butler mode. Butler mode? Michael whispered to Nancy, who glanced back and shrugged her shoulders. Not a clue, she said, as the device in her hand flashed dark blue for a moment. Nancy thought she saw the shadow of a cat float by inside the screen, but it happened so fast she couldn't be really sure. The hunter-killer suddenly came to life, its head swiveling from right to left as it scanned the room. Its green eyes fell on Nancy, and it squared its heavy metal body towards her. She froze in place. Hello, love. My name is Johnny. Hope I didn't give you too much of a fright back there. You could say I am not always myself. Well, when someone pushes my buttons anyway. David certainly knows how to do that. But your friend Bella, she's a fine lass and she asked me to help you good people. So I heard you need to get to the main control center, correct? He asked in a heavy Cockney accent, tipping his hand to his head in almost an over-exaggeration of a British butler. Johnny ha, Michael said, walking out from behind the wall and looking across the room at the silver robot with the green eyes staring back at him. How do we know you won't go back to Mr. Crazy Red Eyes again? I mean, you don't exactly look like you were designed to serve tea, he said, staring at the heavy machine guns that were molded into the robot's arms. Michael, I have overridden his core programming down to the firmware. And while his offensive capabilities remain functional, he will only use them following the laws of robotics. Bella said from the speakers above. So he can't harm humans or through inaction cause harm to come to humans or something like that, right? Nancy asked, looking over at Michael. Someone knows Asimov, he said, smiling at her. That's basically it. So are we friends, Johnny? The robot turned its head towards them, its eyes flickering from blue to a light shade of green before it raised its metal mouth in a facsimile of a smile. True enough, Governor. True enough. Now would you like me to show you to the control room, sir? It is a bit of a walk. Michael looked over at Nancy and then back at the robot, shrugged his shoulders and said with a flourish, lead the way, Johnny.